Marcus Aurelius said, "It isn't manly to be enraged. Rather, gentleness and civility are more human and therefore manlier. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." What's great about that quote in today's world is that so often we mistakenly think that losing our temper or becoming enraged is us flexing, trying to establish dominance or show people we're not going to be pushed around. That is untrue. Unfortunately, you look like you can't control yourself. You look like you're easily manipulated. You look like you're terrified of what others think. You are a victim to however people want to trigger you. And when asking ourselves, how do we avoid getting angry? Let's start with, what is anger? Why is it we get angry? So often, it is just us trying to find some mental clarity. You're not necessarily a bad person or an unhappy person. What's going on is you have so much noise in your head that anger is almost like a Zen focus. A negative one, not one I recommend, but so often it's just us trying to grab onto one thought. What I mean is this: you've got a lot on your mind. You're thinking about bills, and I got to return that call, and oh, does that girl like me, or what's going on with that? Man, I made so many mistakes when I was younger, and your brain is noisy. It's like you have 20 web pages open on your desktop with all the noise coming out of them and trying to read them all at one time. What happens when we get angry is it gives us a focus, not a good focus, negative focus, an emotional focus. When someone steps on our shoe, when someone treats us badly, when we obsess on something that infuriates us, it's this dopamine hit of clarity. I'm not thinking about the bills or the mistakes or worried about the future. You're zeroed in on that guy who cut you off in traffic. It's petty. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but I want you to understand the physiological response behind it. Now, what is the solution? Marcus Aurelius has the solution for us. Because the reason we go to that anger is because our mind isn't clear to begin with. Marcus Aurelius says in the morning, if you write a journal, separating the things in your mind that you can change and making a basic plan to address them, and identifying what you can't change and absolutely letting go of that. This way, you enter each day with a very clear understanding of what you're meant to do, what you're meant to ignore, and what you're meant to take action on. Therefore, you don't have that noisy mind. You don't have that symphony of confusion. So you don't need to obsess on something. If your mind is clear and someone cuts you off in traffic, you simply say, oh, I guess that guy's in a hurry. I hope he gets there safely. So if you've done your 10 minutes of journal work in the morning, guess what? You won't get angry. It's this simple maintenance. Just like our body needs exercise and a proper diet, you'll stay in good health. If you mentally exercise, you will stay in good mental health. You won't need to be enraged. You will be enslaved to others. You will be the master. You will not be enslaved to other people mastering you. This is why it's vitally important for you to take daily action. You have to be active in your own growth. If you want to master yourself, you have to put some effort into it, which is to say, you can't just read a philosophy book, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. By all means, read that philosophy book. However, you have to take that philosophy and use it as a tool to actively grow, change, and become a better man. Like I say, make sure you do your daily journal in the morning. Marcus Aurelius did it. He was the emperor of Rome. He was a busy guy, but he found the time in the morning to get his mind straight, because once he mastered his own mind, nobody could take that from him. A man who can't control his emotions is a man enslaved to everybody. If you're quick to get angry, anybody can manipulate you. A girlfriend, a coworker, a family member, even a stranger on social media can type something and have you on a leash like a slave. Don't be that guy. Take what you've learned. Listen to this all the time. When you're driving, when you're at the gym, first thing in the morning. Remember this, make it part of your day. Please join this community, because we are going to support one another and feeling good about ourselves. Because the opposite of anger is being happy. And we all want to just enjoy our lives. Let's do that together.